Today, on the Terrible Warriors, arrive in the City of Calypso, the Sunrise City. We're deep in the core, a murder. Famed author Stephen Prince lies dead in an office. Who killed him? Why? How? In the city of mirrors and chemicals and vanity, 4 investigators will rock the city to its very knees. This game has no GM. The ending is not predetermined. In fact, most of it is drawn from a deck of cards. This is Noirlandia, and they are your terrible warriors. Welcome back to the Terrible Warriors, terrible listeners. I am not your GM for this campaign, Justin Ecock. I have converged? I've brought together.
I have no idea what you want.
Congregated?
The freaks are running the asylum.
I've done something. I've done a thing.
I did a thing. Look, this is what we do at Terrible Warriors. We do a thing.
And now I have 3 other people at the table, and we are playing by Evan Rowland from Make Big Things, Noirlandia. It was a Kickstarter that I backed. Did phenomenally well. I got the Kickstarter pack in the mail. It came with this beautiful book and string and thumbtacks, which we run out, and we're going to use our own cork board and everything. We are playing a murder mystery, essentially, an investigation. We have created our characters, and we have our victim. We have the city that we're playing in, which is as big a character in this game as any other, and the investigation now begins. In this, our actual, real narratively first episode, we've set the table. Stephen Prince, famed author who moved up from the shades into the crystal maze, the upper crust of our city of Calypso, the Sunrise City, has been found dead in the office of his editor, Marty Silver, in the core, the downtown of the city. In the hands of Stephen Prince was an official document from the shades, the outskirts of the city. On the case, trying to solve the murder of Stephen Prince, is his editor, Marty Silver, the hero-worshipping
super fan,
but also the schemer from the Shatters, from the hard knock life in the city, who wants to have the ideal, the glamour, to have the life that Stephen Prince has now lost. On the case, we have Fortune. From the shades, the old man, the one that everyone looks to when they want something done in the shades, the industrialist, the designer of some of the most sought-after experimental drugs that are a big part of the city. Everyone in this city is always on something. No one is ever sober. And in a way, the old man makes sure of that, always keeping things fresh and new and novel.
They're artisanal.
Yes, he takes it very seriously. And takes it so seriously, he doesn't buy into the glamour and the life and the vanity of the core, which is why he lives in the shades. He just supplies the core with their lifestyle. It doesn't necessarily live it himself, and has a personal connection to the career of Stephen Prince, but also the personal life of Stephen Prince, who started in the shades before his popularity. And finally, rounding up our investigation is an investigator himself, the private eye Marcus, also living in the core, but from the shades, and little known to anyone else, is living a lie. No one is to know that he's from the shades and isn't actually part of this lifestyle, doesn't take those drugs, has actually abandoned it, despite your history of the old man being your surrogate father, at least, despite the fact that he makes all these drugs that everyone takes, and you don't touch them.
He pretends to touch them, though. That's important.
Pretends, but he doesn't. And there's a rejection of that, a rejection of his old man, and the death of Stephen Prince has also shocked you because you remember him from this life that you've left behind. So
also, the way I have him written, he's typically one of my sources when I'm on a case.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and maybe he found something that he shouldn't have. Maybe he learned something he shouldn't have. Maybe he was in a place he shouldn't have been. Was he killed in that office? We don't actually know yet. What is in that document? We don't actually know yet. These are all things that we will discover together and no one person will have any control over the outcome. At the beginning, we now set more of the rules of how this game is going to play out. Each player will have a scene, and no player will have a second scene until every player has had their first, and so forth, right? So everyone gets a turn, but it doesn't have to happen in the same order. There's no like rolls for initiative or anything like that. When it's your turn for a scene, and you can propose it at any time, it will be you say where and when is happening, what you're trying to accomplish, and the other players are going to be support. They might use their own characters, but they might introduce non-player characters. We can shuffle the deck and we can draw randomly generated characters if we need to. And we will set the location and the conflict. We will throw obstacles in your way throughout your scene until a challenge roll is met, something that you have to overcome, and you will roll the dice, and we'll determine then how you succeed or fail in that challenge, and whether or not you break your principles in that challenge. And following a challenge roll, every scene has 2 rolls. A challenge roll followed by an investigation roll. The investigation roll is what will help us determine new leads and new characters that we will be putting up on the board, and connections between the existing leads, which will be used to find those answers. The goal of this game is to find why, how, and who killed Stephen Prince. Once we find all 3 of those answers, the game will end. We'll do an epilogue. The game will also end if we fail so many times that the city has escalated to a point where each district can be escalated more than once. But if 3 of the 4 districts are escalated, even once, the game will be over. The city is in too much turmoil for us to continue the investigation, and we have to go through an epilogue to explain what happens when we never learn why. And I really want to know what happened. So let's get going. What does anyone want to go first for their first scene?
I kind of do, because I have some ideas.
Okay, where would you like this scene to be?
I want to be in the core. So what I'm proposing, and feel free to veto this, guys, is that Fortune puts on her best clothes. She gets on a train. She goes into the core. And she is sneaking or bluffing her way into the office of the editor, where she knows the body was found, because she wants to be where the body was found.
Wait, to like just lay by the body?
So
I just want to lay in the spot.
So this is already
No.
in the press. The pneumatic tubes have sent out the news, and the city is buzzing with the death of Prince. And you have headed directly to the publishing studio, to the scene of the crime.
To the scene of the crime.
To get through. Okay. All right. So the 3 of us are the support. We are going to work together to describe sort of like, are the police still on the scene? I think they still be. I think that the tape would still be set up.
How long has it been since the body was found? Has it been hours? Has it been a day? Like, how fast does news go out?
I'm assuming like the news probably went pretty quickly.
The pneumatic tubes are pretty quick. They're high pressurized.
But how long until the police were like, oh, this is Stephen Prince? Like, do they look in, they look at him, and they go, oh, it's Stephen Prince.
I
I'm gonna
think
write this down by.
I think the police would have known before the press did.
Yeah.
So if the press are already saying the words...
what I'm asking is, how long did the police hold on to the knowledge before they let the press have it?
I think because Stephen Prince's books are so popular that everyone knows who he is. So like even the cops didn't like, they saw the scene. Everyone in the office building who came by.
Oh, they already knew.
This is a city of glass and mirrors. You don't really keep a lot of secrets, like a dead body in someone's
By the way,
office. Maybe I would describe a little when Marty, if we were to describe that Marty might not have been the one who discovered the body. Marty might have discovered a crowd around his office who discovered the body.
Like, hey guys,
what's going on, right? So I'd like to propose. This is early enough that Marty is still there. Mm-hmm. The office workers are still there, and they're all still being questioned by the police.
That's good.
The police are still there. The ticker tape is still up.
That's good, because I used Marty's name to get in.
And you've got all the press are still outside. Like this whole office has just turned into a circus, right? This tower's there's no business is being done today. It's if the body is still there, I don't want to be the one to answer that. But the police.
Oh God, I hope the body is still there.
Interesting. So
And then there was silence. I
We
ruined
also
everything.
keep in mind the index cards you have. If there's anything I'm saying that is like you're like, hey, shut up! I got the card for this. And if there's anything here that we feel like,
I think everyone is there is quite stressed out, so they're taking some downers.
bring the heart rate down.
Yeah,
and just
because
stay
like
calm.
it's like this, you know, the cops showed up, like they're handing out downers. People like,
Yeah,
take
the-
this, calm down.
Yeah, the cops even hand out like
Yeah.
they're able to prescribe medication on the scene.
Cops can't prescribe.
Well, that sounds like I've got the laws here. The impulse control.
I have everyone's on chemicals.
Yeah, well, we can write this. These are
You
things
can-
we both
you can
write
share
down.
them.
But the police have the power to prescribe medication on the
Like
scene.
forcibly, like you have to take this.
Force meds.
Cool. So it's kind of
So no one's freaking out. This place is quiet,
they're all just kind of like this, like listening there, standing,
drooling.
and like the cops who are there are on speed. They're going
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah. And when they bring someone in for a question, they sit them down. They like inject them with a bit of focus. Where were you? What were you doing? Back to sleep.
It works. It's efficient.
I like it.
Okay, so, Bree, you arrive at the bottom of the tower. The press is outside. There's the doors have been covered up. The police are at the doors. They're not letting anyone through. They're not taking any questions from the press. But news travels fast. The pneumatic tubes are still flying out of the building, but they've tried to shut down the tube system to cut down the news. But it's too late. The bird has left the coop, and you've arrived here to this circus. How do you want to do this? The crowd is pressing in. The press are they're all around, all in their hats and their cameras and recorders and writing things down and yelling questions. They're all trying to get in. They're not getting through.
So I need to get in. I need to get into the building. That is why I'm here. Need to get into this building. So what I'm going to do is I've dressed the best way that I possibly can to look like I belong in this building. Right, everything is as close to date as I can get. Like I'm very sharp, shiny. Right, like I'm trying. I've put myself together as best I
Silver
can. I
power suit.
took a whole bunch of uppers, like to get. Like I am so ready. So I'm gonna have to. I've got a sheaf of papers. Right, like I put together everything I had. Most of it is fan fiction. Don't actually read it. I've got like a sheaf of papers, and I'm going to go up to whoever's holding the door and just be. Look, I have to get in. My boss is in there. Mr. Silver is going to kill me. I am so late. I had to go pick up these papers. He needed them so badly. I know. Look, I know that there's a body in there, but like I was supposed to be at work an hour ago, and you really need to help me.
So, at any point, who wants to role play this?
Who's
So with
the
Bree?
police officer on the door?
Who wants to be the police officer at the door?
Yep, I'll do
And
it.
keep in mind, Bree, we've got your 4 stats.
Yep.
But the supporters are going to decide which stat you will roll against if it comes down to a conflict roll. But we
Yep.
can roll this out. Maybe there's not going to be a conflict just yet. But I mean, it sounds like it can happen right away if we want. And then I'm just while this is happening, I'm going to quickly read to remind myself how the dice are rolled because it's a little unique. So. Who's going to be a police officer?
Shane's
Right
a
here.
police
So we
officer.
got Shane playing the police officer. So
Okay.
Bree, you walk up to the door and you're not letting anyone through.
Right.
Yeah, look, my boss is in there, and I know there's a situation. Trust me, I see it. Like I know, but I was supposed to be at work like an hour ago, and I had to go all the way across town to get the papers that Mr. Silver needed, and he is going to kill me if I'm not in there. I'm already supposed to be in there. So like, could you please just help me this once?
Ma'am, we cannot allow anyone into the building. You
What's-
seem stressed. Do you need something from one of our on-hand pharmacists?
I mean, probably, but I need to be inside first.
Do you want to press through? Do you want to get past this door and this guard? Do you want this to be the challenge roll?
Deus Ex this. There's other doors, other windows.
Are
Because
there?
that would be for me. I would feel that would be a reputation roll that you'd be rolling against, which you've marked that as
I'm
yours
overlooked.
nil. So you're only going to get
generally, yeah.
1 white die
Right.
to roll rather than the 2 white die that you would, where you get an extra white die to roll. Or you can just roll the 1 white die now, and then that will be rolled up against the supporter. In this case, is going to roll a black die, and you're going to look at Protagonist condition gives any black or white. There's no additional black die that are being added, so it's just going to be one die against each other. And you want to beat that by 2 or more.
Oh, God.
And if you do, then you get to keep the white die. And if the black die is 2 or more, you're going to keep the black die. Those are going to be used later in the investigation rolls.
Okay.
And if neither die is 2 or more, it's a stalemate. And the supporter can offer a bargain. Like, I'll let you do this, but it's going to cost you.
Right.
And it'll mean costing one of your 4 stats will go down. But you'll get through, and you'll still count as a success. You won't keep a black or a white die, but you will lose a stat,
Okay.
and then you'll go through. Oh, sorry, you'll keep the white die. It'll be treated as a success.
And you lose it. You lose a stat that you're not using for that roll.
And that's only if the dice are different by 2. Okay. And you'll lose, like, maybe it'll be... like in this case, sure, you're going to go through, but you have to take this medication before you go in the door. Then your mind is going to drop from calm to conflicted.
Oh, no, my mind is
Or
already
it's
conflicted.
gonna go
We
from
are
conflicted-
there, baby.
Then you're going to drop from conflicted
To
into
unhinged.
right? Because the medication is going to react real wrong with all those uppers you took on the way
Woo.
in, right? So I know I'm taking control out from you, Shane, but
No, that's
this is
fine.
because we're learning.
You know how the game works.
That's how the challenge rolls
Right.
are. Is you either succeed or you fail or you bargain, and that's how you break a tie. And then later in the investigation roll, you can also break a tie by breaking your principle in the investigation roll. That's where you have that particular option. And then so that's I just wanted to explain how the bargain rolls.
Good.
And then we can continue to role play as we go up to the investigation because at that point you'll have succeeded your
Can you get
challenge.
additional white die by like getting like supporting characters to help you out with things?
No, the white die are always offered by additional, I think, answers from the district if you're in the district that you're playing. And right now we're playing in the core. There are ways to roll extra die, but mostly they're built into your stats. Okay. You always get 1 white die during a challenge roll, but you might get additional black die added in depending on how low your stat is. But the thing is, the dice, you only compare the highest roll. So all you're doing is changing the odds of which. So if Shane had to roll 2 black die, you'd only compare 1 die to 1 die, right? So getting additional die is more of just keeping your stats up, and then mostly dealing with the ties and the bargains is really where things are going to go. Yeah, so the additional white die are handed out during investigation rolls for answers that have been found. We haven't found any answers yet. And they're actually held on by other supporters not included in that particular scene, and then they're used as bargains in the investigation roll. I'll give you this white die, but instead of a stat drop, it's like, but you're going to have to actually do something in the narrative that's going to help me out, right? And then you have to honor that agreement because you got that black die, or you got the white die from me. And then you get to roll an extra 1 and get a higher roll.
On investigation only.
On
I like
investigation
that.
rolls.
Gotcha.
So for the challenge die, the dice are intentionally very low. You're very rarely going to roll more than 2 white die. So, is this what you want to do? Is this where you want to put your foot down, or you want to try to go through the air vent?
I mean, here's the thing. Can I talk this out for a second?
course you
Because
can.
I marked body as vigorous, right? Like, I live in a land of shattered glass. Like,
Yeah.
I'd better be pretty good at doing shit.
Yeah.
So,
Or your body goes down because you live in a land of shattered glass and you're used to cutting yourself up.
well, yeah, but like, I mean, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So, like, I'm literally, like, and I'm wondering if I'm obsessive.
You picked a scene where you were using your reputation to get through a door.
Yeah, it was a
Right?
bad life choice. So I'm wondering if
Which
I
is fine. You just roll the 1 die and just roll the hard die and see what happens. I rolled a natural 1 just there in that example. So
Oh dear.
That bodes well.
You know what? I think I want to try and get through the door the normal way, just because that's kind of what I've
Here's
done
your
instead
white
of
die.
backing down.
and
we'll
here's
see
your
what
black
happens.
Die.
Here we go.
Let's do
Roll
this.
away.
Oh god.
Dramatic rolling sounds.
All right, ready?
Ready?
Let's go. Oh, it's a 5.
Oh,
Yeah, you got it too.
you get it. And actually hold on to that white die. You're going to use it later in the investigation roll. So
Yeah, I'm in the door.
so that's how it plays out. Then play. Go ahead and play out the scene. You
All right,
show
so-
off like your credentials and you.
Yeah, my like hand drawn like lovely credentials that I've managed to get somehow. Made myself some credentials. That's how obsessed I am with this author. I was making
God.
credentials to get into his editor's office. And I show my credentials. And you kind of like, whatever. All right, kid. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, thank you.
So,
Yeah.
basically, the officer just kind of looks at the credentials, lets out a kind of a frustrated sigh, and just kind of turns away and nudges for her to go
Open the
in.
door. Get through.
Yeah, I just like scurry in
Fine.
like as fast
And
as
you're like,
humanly possible.
you'll let the police
hell up.
inside deal with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck, dudes.
So you made it. You got into the crime scene. You make it up to the office. Do we want to? I just want to move on to the next scene from the player. So let's
Yeah.
move immediately to your investigation roll, so
Yep.
we can learn the function of that, and then we can role play like how successful or unsuccessful your investigation was.
Yep.
So you want to investigate the crime scene to learn more about the murder and Stephen Prince and all these mysteries around his character, and you want to see the body.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, the press releases are like, "Oh, he's been found in an office dead," right? And I'm like, "Yeah, but how?"
How? With this document, right? Like, was he killed by drugs? Is there blood on the scene?
Yeah, I'm hoping they'll still have the document on scene. I'm hoping they still have the body on scene. Like, I'm hoping basically that all the evidence is here now that I've gotten
So-
to the epicenter.
You're going to get to roll. How do you want? What stat do we think is appropriate, the supporters, for this investigation now that she's inside? She's not using her reputation talking.
I would say probably mind at this point.
Mind?
There's
Yeah.
a lot going on. You have to look and see what you can gain from it.
Oh, I've made horrible life choices.
So you're going. So that's going to be 1 black dice
woo!
and 2 white dice.
Okay.
So I'm going to give these 2 white dice to you, and you also have the 1 white dice that you already got from a challenge victory. Where
Okay.
the supporters are going to hold on to the black dice.
Okay.
We're going to get 3 black dice for us, the supporters. Plus any escalations or challenge losses. No challenge losses, but you do have a lower stat. So we are rolling 4 black dice. And
Woo.
I'll actually just spread these out to the Shanes. Here you go, Shane. You can roll that.
Thank you.
And investigation rolls are slightly different and a little more involved because we're going to compare the 2. How many? You're rolling 3 dice.
Yeah.
We're going to compare 2 of those dice. The 2 highest
Okay.
are going to get paired with our 3 highest. But you can choose how those dice pair, and there's different outcomes for the different dice. So I rolled a 2 and a 3,
Okay.
4?
4 and a 5.
I got a
So-
6 and 2 3s.
So we're going to take the 3, the 4, and the 5. We're going to put these over here so you can see these, Bree. These
Okay.
are just so you can see what's going on.
Yep.
Now, if you hit on a roll with a 1, which would only be possible if you broke a tie or broke a principle, you'd be able to de-escalate an escalated district, which there's no point in none of the...
Yeah.
If you hit on a dice with a 2, it's a heal condition. Now, you have rolled 3s and 6s.
Yep.
That's finding a connection or a random lead is 3 through 5, and 6 is finding an answer or a connected lead, which means a 6, if I hit on a 6, automatically means we find a new lead and connect it to an existing lead
Right.
right away. But with a 3 to a 5, you either we draw a random lead from the deck or a connection between existing leads on the board.
Okay.
We don't have a whole lot more leads, so we need more leads to find more connections. We need at least 1 more lead on the board to find an answer.
Yes.
We only have 2, and because the third one, the victim, is destroyed.
Yes.
So we need more than just the crime scene and the
And
note.
the note. Yeah.
We need
more.
We need more information. So, but that new information on that 6 could be all we need. In fact, me strategizing in my head, you could use the 6 to find a connected lead, and a hit on a 3 to connect the other 2 leads, and we then have 2 connections. We only need 1 more connection to find an answer.
Right.
However,
Yeah. How do the
we
black
have
dice
a
come
3,
in on
a
this?
4, and a 5.
Okay.
If you miss on the 3, you'll damage one of your conditions. If you miss on the 4, actually 3, 4, 5,
Yeah, is damage.
one of your conditions are going to get damaged
Oh.
because they all fit into the same range. But what you can do is you can pair these up in a way to make sure that you either you can take the 3 and pair it up, and you can break the tie. You can break a principle if you wanted to break one of your principles to resolve the 3rd miss. If you don't want to lose your condition, you can break your principle right now. You can break it twice in your game to save your condition. It might be a little drastic so early on, but you would be able to hit with the 6 and the 3 by pairing those up fine. And you'll get both of those outcomes, the connection lead and a new lead or a new connection.
Okay.
But you will lose a condition.
But I'll lose a condition.
And it's all here on the character sheet too that we can look at
Yep.
and read.
Yep, I see it. Okay.
What we can do is we don't have any additional white dice, but if we did, we would have bargain dice that we could then offer for you. But we didn't have any extras.
Yeah, there are none
for
right
us.
now. Okay. So if I hit with both the 6 and the 3, what you're saying is I also have to lose a condition.
Because she has to beat the numbers.
If we had additional bargain dice, we could have. Yeah, if we had additional bargain dice, we could have offered you to trade to turn that 3rd black die into it. We don't have the bargain dice.
Yeah.
We have nothing to bargain with you. So
No, I'm just making sure I understand. Like, I'm not saying like, oh no, this is awful. Because honestly, I think if I see this guy's body, I'm probably going to become unhinged anyway. So from like a roleplay standpoint, that works out fine for me.
yeah, in
So
fact,
I think that's probably worth it.
that makes perfect sense to me. You
Yeah.
wanted to see a dead body and.
And
Fuck, you
I
succeeded.
regret everything. I regret my life choices. I've made some bad life choices, and I think I'm gonna hit on both of them and take the
By the
hit.
way, if you ever miss on a 1,
Oh, you die.
the character's dead.
How do you miss on a 1?
If like these black dice, if the 3rd one that you choose not to pair with is a 1,
So like that would happen if you had like
which will
multiple
mostly
ones.
mean your character's only ever going to die if you allow it to happen.
Yeah.
If you decide narratively this is the right moment for this to
So
happen.
you beat dice by pairing them with higher
Yeah, so
numbers.
Bree's
Yeah,
gonna pick
so
two
I'm
of these
gonna-
dice.
yeah,
the
so
six
the six and the 3.
So she's gonna pick which one of these 3 dice to not pair with, right?
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't matter
She
in
could
this case because I
you
damaged my
could choose
condition
to also
regardless.
miss on the 3 and take 2 damage. I don't know why you would do that, but you can pair with the 6 and the 3, right? And you can pair those. You can beat the 6 beats the 5, the 3 beats the 4, the 3
Yeah,
black die
which
is left
leaves
behind.
me a 3 and a miss on a 3
But
to
if
5
that
is a
was a
damaging
1,
condition.
She would die.
she would die unless she paired the 3 with the
So
1.
why does the 3
Yeah.
beat the 4? Is it just like a straight matching?
Oh,
It's just like here is a dice. I'm
oh
putting
no,
it
the
with
3
this.
doesn't beat the 4.
Yeah,
but
so the 3 would be-
Oh shit.
That was a 3.
That was a 3 and a 4, and
Yeah, it was the 3, 4, 5
actually
that you
you
guys
got
rolled.
a tie. You have to break a tie.
That's what I'm saying. So
Right,
I was just
okay,
trying to
so how
figure
does the
out-
tie
Yeah,
work
no,
then?
Shane was right.
You got
was,
it.
I was messing things up. I was looking at it backwards. Yeah, you're screwed. You can
No problem,
Yay!
Gary. I gotcha.
Good
You can-
life choices.
break principles to win ties.
Right.
So you can break your. What's your principle? Never harm. Well, you harmed yourself.
I
by
definitely
doing
did.
this. So you can break your principle to break that tie, and then that just means you only take 1 condition hit.
Shank a bitch.
I just walk into the room and punch someone in the face. Just walk into the room and like punch Mr. Silver in the face for no reason. Yeah, screw it. Let's do that. That sounds
Okay.
like fun.
Shank
So
is silver.
mark a black dot next to your principle.
Yep.
You only get to do that
Ah.
twice in a game.
Yep.
We're gonna draw a random lead. As you get your way through into the office, you find everyone's all doped out on the downers. The police are caught up in the investigations. You see Marty sitting over at his desk, just like.
And I know
Head in his
I know
hands.
who he is because I've been
And
writing to him for
you
years.
walk into the office that the body was found in, and the doors has been left open. There's no tape over this particular door, and the crime scene guys have just left, and the room is empty. And you walk right in. What's a 3 of clubs here on the table? You've got it right in front of you for
3
for a lead. We want to. How do we find out what the random lead is? Because it's not. It wouldn't be a place because we're in the place, unless
Is
we
that-
learn
is-
something from the document that leads us to a place. So actually, oh, by the way, for supporters, if we don't know how to do a scene, we can even draw a card to find dramatic hits.
Yeah.
To like push people forward, like a gunshot rings out, tech goes haywire. We can use those dramatic hits we can draw from the deck to like help push forward
the other
the scene if we don't really know where things are going.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I guess it's up to us as the group. What lead? So you walk in, you find a random lead. It's going to be a 3, which is either an actor, which doesn't make any sense, the office, we're already there, or a family heirloom.
Family error.
Oh,
So-
family heirloom sounds about
A
right.
family heirloom from the outskirts, again.
from
From,
the
from,
shade.
No, the Shatters.
the Shatter.
sorry, from Skid Row, not from the outskirts. It's from
Oh.
Skid
Yeah,
Row.
which means it's
Oh.
from
There's a
the
family,
Shatter.
a family heirloom from the Shatters.
Oh shit, that's
This
where I'm
shit's
from.
getting all layered on.
That's where I'm from.
So, and that's why you recognize it. No one
Yeah.
else saw it because
Yeah.
no one else is on the Shatters.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a piece of
To
broken-
everyone else, yeah, it just looks like
it
it's
like a-
like, oh, what's this?
Is it like
Piece-
broken glass or something like that? Like a small piece of broken glass? Like what would you make? Like if you're shattered, would you like take mirrors and like?
Oh,
kinda
oh
make
no,
it-
got it.
that's what it is.
Ton of
A
glass.
friend of mine made these things. They're little stars made out of broken mirror
glass.
pieces.
yeah,
And it's like sometimes a pendants or earrings or just little handheld things, and it's sort of held, but it's made by people in the Shatters for people inside the Shatters.
artisanal reshaped glass.
It's like little starbursts.
Yeah.
yeah, they're like it's like a luck charm,
And
right?
wait, to get this, she had to shank a bitch to get this.
And it's usually made by a family member to another family member when they leave the Shatters.
Oh, yeah.
Does
I
someone want to
remember-
write down this index card?
Yes, I am.
Because this is an index card.
hey,
We need
what-
to write down the starburst heirloom.
I got
Bree's
it.
got it.
I got it. I'm
And
on
then
this.
we're also going to make an evidence card to put up for our lead.
I'm drawing a little starburst.
Starburst heirloom. Oh god, there's so many O's. I've done a bad job. I forgot the T. Oh my god, what is my
So
life?
because we've also added something about the culture of the
From the
Shatters.
Shatters, I can't
So
write.
someone needs to have ownership of that element when it comes back up, when we talk about like the Shatters and the families that live in the Shatters.
I have who? Bree, how many cards do you have?
2.
That'd be your third one right there.
No, this is going on the board, but I can take
No,
the
no,
Shatters
this is
card.
going on the board. That's the index card for you, for whoever's taking it.
Yeah, you
I
take
have
it.
2 cards.
Yeah. Shane, you have 2 cards.
Yes.
Everyone has 2 cards,
you take
so
it.
I'll take
Okay,
the
so you'll take the
Shatters
Shattered
card.
heirloom, and I'm just gonna make a little shitty drawing.
So shattered heirlooms and like basically shattered culture. She has a card for now.
No, the
This is specifically about the family of the Shatters. These things that they make for each
yeah,
other.
the things that they make when it's when you leave, right? They give it to you like, oh, you made it. Here's the thing. Remember where you were from.
I brought scissors.
Come back for us.
I'll just cut them out. There we are. Thank you. Snip, snip. So this is an interesting development in our case that we're going to wrap up that scene. Actually, just with you go in there, you see a body.
I go in
you
there and I
kinda knock
basically
throw
like
up a little bit.
rifle through. Yeah, I'm like, oh god.
You see the document, but you don't. It doesn't mean anything to you
Yeah.
other than it's from the shades. But this means something to you. This heirloom.
Yeah, this heirloom that was like attached to his
This
watch
is random.
chain.
The other thing you have here is a 6, which on a hit on a 6 is you find a connected lead.
Right.
So this is now a new lead that you can add, and it can be your choice, or we can draw from the deck again, that is connected to an existing lead on the board.
Right.
And do we want to just draw from the deck?
Let's draw it from the deck and see what happens.
So it's
So I don't feel like I know enough
this
about
deck
this
is not
to just
shuffled.
come
I
up
keep getting like the
with
same
something.
numbers and suits and shit, so I'm just gonna shuffle it every single fucking time. It's a 10 of diamonds. The 10 of diamonds. The diamonds is downtown, or no? This is the maze. This is from the maze. It's our first bit of. It's our first lead from the crystal maze, and it can be a government agent, an advanced industry. Does that say abandoned industry, or a badge or medal?
I see. Ooh.
Oh.
I think government age is a bit too much on the nose.
Yeah.
Well, we could introduce. Maybe that's on the Shades document. Is the name of a person,
Oh, it's somebody's
and
name.
and we introduce a new character to our investigation. And it's a government agent who lives in the maze.
Or it could be a name of like an industry in the shade.
What if this Shade document is Stephen Prince's will? And what if he's named this agent from the maze
Dun dun dun.
to like inherit?
Yeah, as his benefactor.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's do it.
So this is a government agent. Who do we want to name this person? We've got. I mean,
Patreon?
male, female,
Your
We got
non-binary.
our Patreon names.
We got our Patreon names.
There you go.
Do we want this? Do we want Liz Moran?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's.
Congratulations, you're
Okay,
rich.
so I'm doing. So I'll write it down.
So Liz Moran
Liz
is a government official who lives in the maze, who's now been listed on this will, notarized from the shades, as a benefactor. So she's also the benefactor of the Prince Fortune.
You're looking awful shady there, Liz.
And so I would argue then that the connection is the Shades document
To Liz Moran.
To Liz Moran.
Right.
From
Yep.
the Diamond Corner.
Yep.
I'll put that up on the board for us.
Okay, I wrote it down.
This is
wrote-
getting juicy.
Wait. So do it. I'm sorry. Turn this up.
Here. And the heirloom I got over here.
Well,
Dun dun dun.
Justin has had to walk
Dun,
around
dun, dun,
the
dun.
entire table.
This is the first time I get to put something up on the board, you guys.
He's really excited. He's sitting furthest away from the board, so he had to like climb over the rest of us to get to the board on the other side of the room.
It was kind of sexual.
I mean, a little bit, but that's just
Liz
Justin.
Moran. And we have
He's very carefully tying the string around. He's very excited.
really quite adorable.
He's very excited about it, guys.
We have our first connection.
Whoa.
So if we can make 2 more connections and form 3 leads, we'll have an answer. We're one step closer thanks to
thanks to me becoming unhinged.
Fortune breaking into a secure crime scene.
Yeah.
Everyone's just
always
too high.
always break into crime scenes, guys. It's a good life choice.
Please don't try this at home. God's sakes. We're like life decisions, life messages. So that brings an end to our scene.
Woo!
Who would like to go next? The old man.
Yeah.
I really like that we're like completely glossing over the fact that Marty is at the crime scene. We'll just deal with this
I
later.
haven't met him
We'll just
yet.
deal with this later.
Yo, you're like.
I kind of wanted to meet him, but he was over with his head in his
you'll
hands.
come up
It didn't
and have like
work.
the most obvious like observation of the whole thing once you've gotten so much further down the road.
All right.
Look, you're just really high right now, okay?
So
I'm so doped up. Okay.
So the old man has heard about this, and the first thing that comes to his mind is he actually wants to, where is it? I want to go to the maze and check out Prince's house.
Yeah.
And do I say why I'm going there?
Well, we can talk out like when.
Okay.
This is just obviously shortly after you've heard the news.
Actually, I heard the news, and like it's come out. But the first thing I got in mind is like I'm gonna go to his place, and given my background, I want to see like in my mind is like, is it someone else's drugs here? Because in my mind is like I'm giving this kid my artisanal quality substances, and my first thought is like kind of protective like father figure is like maybe he got into some like not good quality stuff, which may have like led to this.
Okay. So I've just picked out this portrait that I'm going to cut out. I'm going to put this up there with Liz Moran because it looks like an aristocrat from the Crystal Maze.
Ooh. So I don't know anything about Liz Moran at this point, do I?
I'm gonna. We can.
I'm assuming no. Like,
Word gets around. Nothing.
okay.
Nothing stays too secret for too long, and we can even put this maybe just a few hours later, or even the very next morning. And the rumors in the press are going out now. Rumors say Stephen Prince Fortune left to mysterious heiress. Is she the killer?
So I'm gonna check out.
Right?
I'm gonna check out Liz's place then, because like again, I'm gonna see if Liz has.
The press is
anything...
all about like the ups and downs,
Yeah.
just like the drugs, right?
I'm gonna go check out Liz's place. I'm assuming she's also in the maze, and I want to see if she has anything that may tie her back to Steven.
Do you want to speak to Liz?
You know what? I'll speak to Liz. I'll talk to Liz.
Does anyone want to play Liz? Will it be me?
I'm pretty sure it should be you. I'm really excited.
What's up, Liz?
Also, I just had my turn, so.
Yeah, so you be a supporting character on this, so.
So you want to meet up with Liz? Does anyone else want to? Because we're playing support now. I'm playing Liz, so I'm going to put the game master rules sort of into the two of you, Bree and
She probably has
Edmonton
some staff, I'm assuming.
we have the dramatic hits. If you're ever looking for, if you're like not sure what to do, you can always ask to draw from this deck. In fact, I can even leave the deck here in the center so we can all reach it, and you can draw the dramatic hit to find like something that happens in this scene. Like there was something in the drink. I don't know what that will mean, but just sort of help like narrative hooks to like push where things go. And you two you're the ref. So this
Okay.
these crystal palaces, they look like rancho relaxos kind of thing. That they're 1 or 2 story mansions, but they're glass and crystal and mirror reflections, but all like lit up and glowing, and it's very like a ice palace kind of look.
Yeah, and
to these roads.
And I stand out like a sore thumb. Like I am not.
No, you look like you're from the Shades.
Yeah, I'm like-
you got your staff and you got your
Little
rags.
duster going on there. Got a giant bushy beard and big thick glasses
Oh
on.
my God, he's a wizard.
Yeah,
Quiet! Don't take my staff.
you got people out there and they're like,
Told you to take the
like
wizard's
the
staff.
gardeners here. They don't like the gardeners are glass blowers. And so they're like blowing glass into like the bushes and stuff and like growing them out into these sculptures. And there's all this like, it's very weird and it's very quiet. And like you can almost hear like the clinking of glass on everything. As
So you,
the wind
you basically
blows.
hear me like walking down the
Yeah.
street. Just
Clunk,
like,
clunk,
Clunk, clunk, clunk, clunk.
clunk. So yeah, so people know I'm coming. So I come up to Liz's boudoir,
yeah.
estate, walk up towards the front, all old and
Do we
groggy and
wanna,
shit.
she's a government official, a government agent. Do we want to answer?
She 100% has a gate.
do,
with,
but
like,
do we
a
want to
buzzer
answer
on
to
it.
what her role
Yeah.
in the government is? Is she a minister
Do
of
we know?
something? Is she just government agent?
Government
Like
agent.
we just don't want to we just won't define that.
Well, I mean, could that be a thing that we have to find out, right? We don't really know what
Don't know
she's
anything about Liz
doing.
Moran.
I'd almost
She's not a
assume
very
she's
public
like an
person.
Amanda Waller type. Like
Yeah, he's just a
She's-
bureaucrat that works
she's what
within
she
the
needs
system.
to be, but you don't need to know.
Okay, all right.
Just vague government.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is not a person that people have like
We've
an
already
automatic
established
knowledge
there's
of.
a city of corruption here where with pride, but also like your informants, Shane, with your PI work
Right.
and people working. There's not everyone is as content with the city of Calypso as the city would make you think. So all right, so you walk up to the doors of the Crystal Palace here.
Wait, let me make that sound.
Cling, 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 clang.
Hello.
It actually sounds like you're starting a toast.
Oh, do that again. There we go.
And the doors open up, and there's Liz, and in black,
She answers her own door.
and
Wow.
she's she looks tired. If this is the next morning, she hasn't slept all night.
Oh. Hello, Liz.
Oh,
I
dear.
am the old man. I mean, I could do a different voice. That's like way
No,
too
it's great.
scratchy.
No, you're
Yeah.
you're
Am I-
stuck there
am I
now.
She knows who you are.
Okay, cool. So, old man walks up. He basically puts his,
She mentions that sure, like Stephen Prince mentioned, he talked a lot about you.
Yeah, so you must know that we've gone a ways back. Oh god, I'm starting to sound like Bane.
You will answer these questions, and then I will allow you to end this
I was born in the darkness.
in the shade.
born in the shade.
Actually, yes. Oh dear.
So I'm gonna.
I'm very upset with Mr. Prince. He did not have my permission to die.
Oh, okay.
Let's focus. We gotta get this in time.
Okay,
Two more scenes I want to do this episode.
Okay. The question is, I want to know why Mr. Prince decided to leave his money to you. I've never heard of you.
You're a forward
What
gentleman. aren't you?
stats?
never
What
tried-
what stats are you looking here on the top?
I'm trying to appeal to her using my heart.
You got heart, and your heart's your highest.
Yeah, heart's my highest.
She bursts into tears, but if you we roll this challenge roll, she'll open up and tell you anything you need to know. But if you fail this challenge roll, she's slamming the door on your face because she doesn't want to talk to anyone. No one's going to understand.
Okay, I take off my glasses for my small beady eyes, like old man face. And I look,
You can trust me.
you can trust me.
All right, let's roll for this then. So you want Liz Moran to open up to you. Why has he mentioned you? What do
Yeah,
we
like-
not? What part of the story are we missing?
It's like I feel like the old man should know what's going on in Stephen Prince's life. Like he feels like it's almost like his bastardized cousin's son or something like that.
Okay.
So it's this person who's now listed as his here.
Because I don't know how to answer these questions. We're just gonna have to draw from the deck.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
got to succeed
Yeah.
this roll. So you have. Is this one of your bonus stats?
Yes.
So you're gonna get 2 white dice. Here you go. Oh, la, la.
Thank you.
And then we're each going to for the challenge roll. It is going to be A relevant trait plus a white die or a black die. I'm just going to get a 1 black die to roll. There's no real other conditions or reason for me to get additional black die. Nothing's in escalation. So the benefit is on your side here for using this. So I rolled a 3.
I got a 5 and a 6.
So you compare with either of those, you'll definitely beat by 2. If you can
6.
beat by 2, it would be a bargain that I would be offering you.
Yeah.
But like if you had rolled a 4, and that was the only one, I would offer you a bargain that would result in the drop of maybe feeling guilty at the end, right? So so you succeed in that, and you succeed that challenge roll, which immediately is going to follow now, and you get to hold on to that white die that you got. We're going to go into the investigation, and she's going to tell you what you need to know. Because this is the kind of thing, the challenge roll and the investigation roll synchronize perfectly.
Yeah.
So same deal for us. There's going to be 3 black die passed out for each of us to roll.
And
here you go. And there's no reason. You have a victory die for an answer, which you give from me, which we can use as a bargain.
Okay, so I give this back to you.
Yeah. And then you are going to get 2 white die, plus any bargains from challenges, victories, and answers, which is over here.
Yeah.
So you roll with your 2. We're each going to roll our black, and I'll roll a white.
I need one more.
You're going to... Yeah, sorry. I took your only white. There you go.
Okay. Tell me what you know.
Oh. I rolled a 1 on the black.
I also rolled a 1.
So you're gonna... She's just gonna shoot you if you don't...
You guys.
She's gonna
And then-
decapitate you
and a
in
3.
the door.
So
Okay?
fuck. So you need to make sure that's okay though, because I got a 6 on my
I
bargain
got
die.
a 6 and a 3. So can I
So
use
you're definitely gonna be able to beat these 2.
Yeah. So I do this, and I don't need your 6 to. Oh no, I take your 6 right here.
You can take my 6 to beat this, or you can break your principal to break this to bring the 3 to a tie.
Why wouldn't I use your die?
Or you can use, because it's a bargain that I'm going to say, like, you have to promise you don't tell anyone what I tell you. Or you have to swear you're going to do everything you can to clear my name in the press. I didn't do it.
But I will also get another connected lead.
Yep.
Yep. I'll take the bargain.
Even if she's guilty, she wants you. Like this is just me metagaming now.
Yeah.
This is the bargain. You have to prove I'm innocent. That's like, there's no stat changes. It's just you have to prove I'm innocent.
Okay, I'll take it.
So you take that.
So I write down here.
So hitting on 2 6s and a 3, you just hit the mother load.
Yeah.
With answers. Do we want to just draw 3 cards?
Let's draw 3 cards.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. The story's still fresh.
Let's see what happens.
So we draw a 10 of diamonds, another something from the maze, something from the shatters, and something from the core. A 3 and a 4.
So we got here.
What do we have here for 10s?
For 10s, we
another
have,
government official. Let's not. We're talking to a government
right,
official.
abandoned industry or a badge or medal.
A badge or medal.
Where's the location on this?
The abandoned industry. This is an abandoned industry in the Crystal Maze, in the upper crust.
I kind of want to take the abandoned industry.
Okay. All right. So we'll then the 3 is this is going to be from the Shatters again.
Mm-hmm.
What's a 3?
3 would be
An actor?
actor, performer, or office or family heirloom.
Okay, we've already got the family heirloom.
Yeah.
But this could be rather than a random lead, you can make a connection between existing leads.
I'll take a connection.
So
between
we'll
existing
just put
leads.
this card away, and we can do a connection. And the last one here, a 4, is writer journalist. I'm reading upside down.
Yeah,
And
writer
a
journalist or park or a map.
A map or a park or another journalist from the core.
I think a map would be cool.
A map
Yeah.
of the core.
I
Or just from, it's just associated with the core. What's it a map of?
I think it is a map of. Ooh, that's a really good question.
Or is it a blueprint of a house or of a building?
think
What if it's a map of a drug molecule?
a new drug, new design drug?
Oh, what if it's one of your prototypes?
This is what I'm trying to get around to because I think the abandoned industry can be like a lost factory which had a bunch of old drugs in it in the maze that no one's been using for a while, or it could have been Price's old workshop.
Prince.
Prince,
is
Prince,
old.
so yes,
Okay,
I
so
gotta be Prince's
we've
workshop.
got a molecule.
Map.
Yeah, it's like it's a scientific drawing of a molecule, like how you make
Designer drug.
this designer drug.
And that's in the maze?
Yeah, we're gonna let's come up with a quick name. What were they calling this drug? A leitmotif. Do you want to call it a flare?
Illuminate? Okay, so this is the drug molecule.
lot of
This
fancy
is
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one that's connected.
This is the lead. Well, we haven't. You wanted to know. You wanted to put the leads up on the board
Yeah, yeah.
first, and then we'll make the connections once the leads are up on the board.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can have a look at it. So I'm just gonna draw the heart, and you can put this up there along with.
Bree, do you want to do this?
Sure.
And the other one is the abandoned industry. Do you want to have it like a drug lab in the crystal maze?
I think it should be actually Prince's like abandoned workshop, like where he stored a lot of his notes for his books.
Oh, okay. Prince's abandoned.
Or Prince's like secret
Prince's secret
workshop.
secret writing workshop.
It's like secret writing dungeon.
Yes.
What if she?
Done.
She's crying at the door, Liz Moran. She opens up to you, and she takes you inside to her house, back to one of the bookshelves, opens it up, and this is where he's been working.
Yeah. No, so he goes in there and I find
This is the abandoned place, but he hadn't been here for a long time.
So would you find the molecule?
And in here, you
room?
find the molecule, and you realize he's not just been writing books; he's also been designing drugs.
which to me be like,
But for
mind
who?
blowing.
For to what purpose? Because he's known as an author, right?
Okay, so now these two are connected, plus we have one new connection, right?
So yeah, and you've got them in the right quadrants, and so now we have between all three of these, you can add 3 connections to the board. But 2 of the connections have to come from the 2 that we just added because they were connected leads.
Can we connect the molecule to Liz?
Okay.
Yeah.
So she was going to be.
I think she may be involved with him making the drug. That's why he wanted to leave her the money, because he felt like that's where his
Or she was
work
going to be involved in like working with the government in distributing.
Yeah. Like there's a big partnership
Getting
here
it
that
outside?
we didn't know was happening.
Okay.
And then the workshop.
The workshop has got to connect to somewhere else as well. We've got the heirloom. We've got. You can also connect the workshop to Prince, as well. Like.
Can we?
Yeah, like the Prince is also a lead. It's just a destroyed lead, and we can make connections through Prince to create a solid line of connections. So
Okay.
you can connect the workshop to Prince, and you can connect the document to Prince. Because we didn't know what this document was, we've now established the document was a will and testament, right? So that makes the most sense to solidify that with a connection. So just follow that line there that you're twisting,
Yep.
and just bring it over to the document. And now we actually have,
Fine, I got it.
if in the next scene, we've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 leads that are connected. We do have enough here on the board to find our first answer.
And how do we do that?
We have to finish another investigation roll in another scene. And we have to hit on a 6. And instead of finding a connected lead, we find an answer, which is put up on the board as another lead that isn't associated to any district. But it uses 3 leads on the board.
Cool.
All right? So we have one more scene that we can get in for this episode. Hopefully, this scene will answer one of the questions: why, how, or who. I think we're getting close in on this conspiracy. This is kind of. I love how this is forming out of nothing.
Yeah,
Out of a
like
deck of cards.
a couple hours ago, we had nothing. we were idiots in a room.
Shane, would you like
Yeah.
to go, or shall I go?
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay.
I really like that Marty is just not.
He's so
He hasn't
drugged
been
out,
introduced
guys.
yet.
Well, I was thinking I would incorporate Marty into my scene.
Yeah. But it won't involve me or my abilities to add to the investigation. Like my scene is going to come next week.
Yeah.
So, all right, where would you like to do this?
Well, I'm thinking being PI, I would probably be like at the scene as well.
Okay, do we want to set this after the Liz Moran, or are we going back to before Fortune even arrived?
Probably before Fortune arrived.
Or is this
'cause that's
after
like,
the police are gone and the place has been cleared out and you're going a couple days later and just asking around the office?
That's not
right?
bad either.
Like where you want to fall into the timeline is kind of up to you. Like this doesn't have to be a linear story.
Okay. Let's go with a couple of days later.
Okay.
Because like I'm thinking like
So days pass. The city kind of gets over the shock of the death of one of their prolific authors, and life in Calypso continues on. And you arrive at the editing offices of Silver Press, and everyone's just going through their days, focused and working, acting like nothing happened, right?
right.
Except for the office that's still taped shut. Ever since that girl broke in, kind of caused a bit of a scandal.
That was fucking
It
weird.
might
I
have
guess.
completely thrown off the investigation. Like it's a corrupted scene now, contaminated scene and evidence.
Worth it.
So you wanted to speak to Marty?
Yeah.
All right, the Shane and Bree, you two are the supporters here. If you want to set any of the rules about this, you want to play other people, you want to throw in some of those damage hits to throw the scene off and screw around with Marcus's ability to investigate.
I mean, I like something has been stolen because I might have totally taken
But
that.
this would
earlier.
be like, again, you would draw from the
Yeah.
deck and you would see what
and
number
see
comes
what
up.
number comes up. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess you come in. I'm there. I'm on the. Well, not on the. I guess. Do we have telephones or is everything written out?
I'm assuming we have telephones.
We haven't established that. Everything's been
No,
pneumatic
I think I
tubes.
like pneumatic tubes. You're
Everything's
watching your pneumatic
It's the
tube
written
like
route.
so hard.
It's the written route. It's the written. Everything's written down.
Having a time here. Huh?
My mouth did a funny thing. Yeah, everything's written down, and this mass communication. We have the press, but everything's in print. We haven't established that there's radios or television.
No, I like the
We
idea
know there's
that
books
it's like
and mirrors.
slightly delayed text messaging.
Okay, so he's writing some notes down another letter, and he puts into it. Off it goes, and he's starting to work, and he's stamping some other
I
stuff.
want
and
you all
he's
to know
doing
that
some
Justin
editing.
is actually doing all of these things as he says them.
He's like pantomiming it all.
Out of my hands. And so you walk into Marty's office. I guess you've got enough of a reputation that did you make an appointment or are you just showing up unannounced?
Well, I figured Marty was the one who called me because he needs help clearing his name on this.
I need you on the case.
Yeah. You've had a hell of a week, haven't you, Marty?
I've had better. I just
Yeah.
need you to make sure this isn't going to come down on me and my business. No idea.
Yeah, I just follow the facts. You can tell me you didn't do it, and I'll believe it until I find out you did.
Why would I hurt the guy? He was my friend and he was my meal ticket. He brought this, he built this empire. His works, his writing, Silver Press wouldn't exist without him. Why would I? I'm supposed to get 6 more books from him over the next 4 years. And now I'm writing letters now and sending off messages because we got to make budget cuts because we don't know if we're going to be even able to keep the lights on by the end of the year without his sales coming in. Thankfully, some of his books are going through the roof, but this city, they'll forget about him. They'll move on.
Well, if you didn't kill him and if nobody in Silver Press killed him, then I'll certainly find out who did.
I don't even know if he died here. I just know he was found here. I don't know if he was already dying when he came here. I don't even know how he died. The police won't tell us anything. All I know is his body was dead in a chair in the office next to mine.
Is that all you know?
That's all they've told me. They kept me so drugged that day. I don't even remember what happened.
All of a sudden,
Okay.
someone runs out of the room full speed away from you.
It says we just drew a 5 and it's a witness makes a run for it.
The secretary!
The secretary makes a break for it.
The The chase is on!
Here we go.
What's your body count?
My body able.
Okay, all right, sorry. We're just going to immediately introduce Cheryl Dawson.
Oh, great.
Books it. Sorry, Cheryl. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon.
Surprise, you're now the world's worst witness. How do you feel? How do you feel about your life
So all of a
choices?
sudden, like, you're at the table, and it's just sort of like chair, push, scattered paper, run, and challenge roll.
Okay.
You got to chase her down.
All right. What,
Thanks, guys. That was great.
You're welcome.
what dice do I get for this?
You're going to get, you don't have any additional dice for that stat, correct?
No.
It's just the one. So you're going to get one dice, and
Oh, I found the
the
white
challenge roll, there's nothing against you. There's no conditions. So it's just going to be another black dice. And so we're going to roll against this, and then if we're close, we're going to have to bargain.
Okay.
And you can break your print.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck. You got a 6? I got
Yeah.
a 3. So, like, you see her make a book, and I guess, how do you just tackle her?
Flying dropkick.
or does she go for the elevator and you take the stairs, and when she comes out on the main lobby, you're just waiting in front of the door, going somewhere?
And flying dropkick.
Oh yeah, it's like that. It's
love
like that
that.
scene from Men in Black, like the freaking Guggenheim.
It's up to you. I'm
He
sorry.
just like comes in the door, holds up the gun. Sup?
So, investigation roll. You can now get to interrogate the witness.
Cool.
We've got a new lead.
Oh,
We're
boy.
just gonna put that. We're just gonna add Liz Moran, or not Liz Moran. We're gonna add Cheryl Dawson. She's a witness, and we're just gonna put her up as a lead right now. I want to help him set up his investigation roll. You have
Okay.
2 white dice that you're gonna start with,
All right.
and you have a victory from your previous, which will be thrown into a bargain roll.
Cool.
And 3 black dice, and no additional black dice from escalations or failed challenges. So we'll roll these.
Now, do I get anything extra from my mind or?
For this, yeah, for trite, is that what we're doing? If for an so you'll roll an additional black die, which will be added into your pool. And here we go. We'll take
You
the
meant
5.
a white die.
Yeah, you get a white. Did I give you a white die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just said a black die.
Oh, well, fine. And Shane, what'd you roll?
This is a podcast.
Go to
it
I
matters.
rolled a 6.
Oh, thankfully, that bottle of water was sealed. And so then we have a bargain dice for 6.
Okay.
So then you're going to roll against these while I cut out the Cheryl witness lead.
Oh shoot!
What the fuck?
Hey, that's 3 6s. That is a typical Shane roll.
666.
Cheryl Dawson. Cheryl Dawson is from the core.
Yep.
Or actually, just because she works in the core, she's actually from, she's from the Shades.
Ooh.
Oh, moving on up in the world.
That's gotta be commute.
Well, that's just where she's from.
Oh.
That's where
She
she's
lives in the
associated.
core currently.
She works in the
Could
core,
take like a train in, potentially.
but she's a Shades character. God, these fucking people in the Shades are really in on this. So you can take that and put that up in the Shades. So you roll these, and you got, you only got to pick 2 of these. You
Okay.
pick your 2. They're all 6s. So you can pair these
You
up.
sound annoyed.
You've got another 6 to bargain with if you want to take it. Now, what you can do is, if you miss on a 6, a lead will be destroyed or a city district will escalate. And the 3 to 5s, which are those 4 and 5s, you'll take a damage to your condition. So you can choose which you pair these off with, keeping in mind that 6 is tied. So you're going to have to do something to break that tie. Either way, in order to break this 6, even though you rolled all 6s, you still need to break that tie in order to stop the escalation or destroy a lead. It's entirely possible something might happen to our newest lead, Cheryl Dawson, before she can answer your questions, and she will be removed from the board. So we have to figure out how that narratively works in, which lead is destroyed. But it's up to you how you strategize this with these 2 6s, or you can ask for the bargain. In which case, I guess I was playing Cheryl, or who wants to play Cheryl? I was playing Marty. Who wants to
I'll
play
play
Cheryl?
Cheryl.
You can play Cheryl. You can offer up what that bargain would be if Shane wants to go for that. Either way, every 6 you hit on you can use it to form an answer and create a connected lead, which would be Cheryl Dobson in this case. She would be
Right.
the lead that you would immediately connect to something. but you have to do something about this 6.
Yeah.
Or you have to decide. Maybe you just kind of like let it escalate or let it be destroyed. Right?
Okay.
Maybe she's going to answer the questions and kill herself tonight. And not be around anymore.
But we will get one of our answers from this.
But you'll still
Yeah.
get an answer before her lead is destroyed.
Do it.
Is that the kind of person you want to be? Don't you never...
He never reveals his true self,
reveals
though.
his self.
Yeah.
It's not
That
do no
doesn't- that
harm.
doesn't violate
It's
any
not
of
do
her
no harm.
principles.
No.
I mean, if she does this, I mean, what can you do?
That would be my... That's just what I would throw in. Or you can get the bargain from Bree, and to break a tie, you have to break a principle. So you could reveal to her your true identity from the shades. I recognize the
make
shades,
her
takes one shade to know
trust you.
another, and you can break that tie. But you also break your principle, which will just mean an extra black die during our epilogue scene.
Let's do that.
Okay,
Let's go
so
with the-
mark a break of your principle. You break the tie. So we're no longer dealing with a destroyed lead.
Cool.
Or an escalated city scene. You beat the 5. So that's another answer and a connected lead. So you can put that over there. You have a bargain here. Do you want to take a Hertner condition? Or do you want to accept a bargain from the witness?
I'll take the bargain.
Bree.
Okay.
Cheryl Dobson. Or Dawson. What
She's okay. So
we've already got a
she's
Chad Bobson and a Cheryl Dawson. Okay.
she's God damn it, Patreon. She's from the Shades, but she's worked her way up into the core. You work with a lot of people in the core. You've got some connections. I don't want to be a lowly secretary forever. Right? Like, I want to work my way up. You have other connections. What can you do for me so that I'm not, sitting here just playing catcher of the pneumatic tubes all day?
Do you want to get into the crystal maze?
I mean, ultimately.
That's the bargain.
Okay.
You pull your strings. You get her into the crystal maze.
I could probably make something happen. How do you feel about living in the maze?
I mean, doesn't everyone want to live in the maze? And suddenly she's much more amenable to everything you're saying.
All right, so we now have 3 hits on a 6. This is a great place to end because we're going to get some
Yes.
answers.
Awesome.
Before we find that, do you want to find the answer first from what's already on the board, or do we want to make our connections now? Where do you want to connect? Do you want to just connect Cheryl Dawson to Stephen Prince, or do we want to connect her? I mean, this is your scene. Where do we want to connect? We got our first one is a connection for Cheryl, our new lead. It becomes our first connected lead. What are we going to connect her to? I can draw a card to tell you which district, and we can pick a lead from that district, or we can connect to the victim in the center. Did she see the crime? Maybe she was there late. Maybe she saw who put the body there.
I mean, if he came in by himself, she probably would have been the person that he would have had to
Is
talk
she going
to.
to answer the who? Is that the question she's going to answer? Did she see who dropped
put
the
him
body
here?
there?
Or if he came in by himself, or
No one
if
sees
he
the
came
secretary.
in with someone. Yeah, because I mean, the secretary's just your furniture. You're fine.
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with
She knows the who.
exactly.
So
knows the who.
so then the first thing then is we're going to find our answer. So just drop that string for a second. Her connection is going to go to the answer. So what is? Let's just put it onto a nice bright card stock here. This yellow that I have. We have who. Finding this answer, you have to use 3 of the leads. Shane, you might as well get up and have a look.
Oh god,
Like-
too many shades.
You just get involved here. Go up there to the corkboard. We have here on the board, and we're gonna post a bunch of pictures onto Instagram because it's kind of looking cool. We've got in the center Stephen Prince, our victim, And surrounding Stephen Prince, all of our found information. The only thing not connected yet is this heirloom. We don't know how that connects yet into the investigation, but we know it's an important element. The other connections, the other leads, and the other one is we don't know why the office connects into this. We just know that's where he was found. We don't know how that connects. But we have connected Stephen to the will, to Liz Moran, to the molecule of the map, and to his secret workshop in her house. Which 3 leads do you want to connect to form the who? Like who did it, or to form an answer. And you get to decide, Shane, this is your scene. This was your 6 that you rolled on what the answer to one of the 3. You get to answer one of these 3 questions. Who, how, or why he was killed.
Let's see here. Like, there's only one answer for who, isn't there?
Well, no, the who could be connected through Liz, and we can draw a new character,
Okay.
or we can say Liz did it. But Liz right now is just a lead.
Yeah.
We can randomly draw the deck to discover the next card we draw is the killer.
Mm-hmm.
And if the killer might match up with the description of Liz Moran. Or it might match up to Cheryl Dawson. She confesses.
I really like the randomness of drawing a card for everything
Do
and
we
then
wanna
like
draw the
forcing
killer?
it to fit. Like I like
You
that.
could also draw like how they died.
Okay.
Draw a killer.
So first we're gonna.
This just makes it fun.
Look, roll for killer, okay?
Okay, so 5 is an industrialist
Ooh.
Oh,
from the Shades.
oh no.
Now, it won't be the old man because that's actually a condition on a miss, where if you miss on a 2, you pin yourself to the board. And then if your lead is
Okay.
destroyed, your character dies.
But it might be someone you know.
But there's some kind of there's something going on here. So Cheryl admits to knowing because she's from the Shades. The who in this crime is an industrialist from the Shades.
Yeah, she says I recognized him when he came in. I was here. You know, I was
And-
trying to get ahead on work, and I was here, and I know who this is.
And he knows who it was. It was Chris Chapman.
Goddamn, Chris.
From the Shades.
You've been demoted to the Shades. Thanks for supporting us on Patreon.
He had to be stopped. He was going to give the secret ingredient to my ice cream.
So we have our first answer. And then we'll connect real quickly these answers. Chris Chapman is our killer. But it doesn't mean much unless we can also find the motive, how, and what. Like, how did he die and why did he die? We still don't know the motive and we still don't know the method. But we do have
A name.
a name. Chris Chapman. And this is like, I can't tell you, he'll kill me. And when they go like, you know, when they yelled out what the Kingpin's name in Daredevil, Fisk, and it's like, Chapman, and that's where the episode ends. So go and
Black
pin this
screen.
up there. In just underneath the victim, this is a center board item. It doesn't belong to any district. And Shane, we're gonna connect. It doesn't matter which Shane.
Yeah.
We're gonna connect. We're gonna make. We got an answer. We got 2 connections and another lead to add. We've got 1 lead with a connection. What are we connecting Cheryl Dawson to?
Yeah, let's connect to the office.
Okay, and then we got another lead. It's a queen spades. It's an entertainment or a potent chemical. There we go.
Potent chemical is
Potent
important.
chemical
Of
from the
course.
Shades is a new lead, and this potent chemical is another thing that
So what? It is the chemical that we found in the drawing.
Well, I don't know. We got to. This is the City of Chemicals. What chemical is this? It's down in the Shades quadrant, and it's going to connect to. What do you want it connected to? Because this will answer what kind of chemical this is, Shane. This is brought up while she talks. She mentions Chris Chapman. Why don't we connect this to Chapman?
Okay.
He's an industrialist from the Shade, and he was trying to sell this thing off. She remembers him. She remembers him giving her this sample, and then she remembers seeing him at the crime scene dropping the body off. And she only made the connection because she remembered seeing him. So there we have one of our three answers. We have a witness of the crime. We have a suspect and another drug. I think that brings it up to 3. And we are one step closer to solving the murder of Stephen Prince. Beloved author, question mark,
Now dead.
of the City of Calypso. And I guess next week it has to be my scene because
Yeah.
Marty hasn't gone yet.
Yep.
Marty Silver
Still in office.
will begin
Chilling.
the investigation.
Saw the secretary
That's
run out and
fine.
just sat there.
I am complicit. I'll get involved. Thank you for joining us here on the Terrible Warriors. I hope you've enjoyed this strange little game we're playing because it's a very different tone and pace than other games we've enjoyed
very
in the past.
fun.
But it is just sort of, it's kind of delicious to see how we improvise these random answers into our narrative, and it does feel cohesive, right? It's not just me.
No, it's coming together. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all in a room
Substance.
together. I really think the internet will tell us later if we were all just having some weird.
Yeah.
Just a collective fever dream.
Yeah.
For Terrible Warriors, I have not been your game master for this game, Justin Ecock. I've been surrounded by this table from our Edmonton crew joining us from far away.
Shane Fitzgerald.
And returning to our show, our partners in crime.
Shane, aka the old man.
And Bree, now unhinged, Poison.
And until next time, trust no one, especially the secretary. Take it away, Justin. The Terrible Warriors has new episodes every Tuesday and every Thursday. Noirlandia will return in 2 weeks' time. We have one answer, but will we be able to answer the final 2? Well, only time will tell. I can tell you the truth. We didn't know when we were playing the game how it was going to end, and no one predicted the final conclusion. Also on Tuesdays, we're playing Masks. We're still playing Masks, but it's a new campaign, new players, new heroes. I wanted to try and play the exact same game again, but with 4 new players. Do it really close, just to compare the two. We've never done something like that before on Terrible Warriors. We've done sequels, we've played the same game more than once, but we've never tried to intentionally reboot a campaign, and that's exactly what I did with Masks. It's the same Halcyon City, but it's another Halcyon City. It's a comic book, multiverse. 4 new players, 4 new masks. That all happens also on Tuesdays. On Thursdays, the Edmonton crew got the band back together, and they're playing The Strange. And Derek's crafted a doozy, trapped in a zombie apocalypse world where all the other zombie apocalypse worlds go to die. Our strangers and agents of the estate are hot on Moriarty's trail. Can they catch him before he brings the strange to an end? I don't want to spoil too much. I will tell you, Derek wasn't ready. He wasn't ready at all for what his players had in store. You can follow us on Twitter at Dice Warriors. You can check out TerribleWarriors.com for the schedules, for our archives, as well as fan submissions, which we're now posting on the website. And of course, this show is brought to you by our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Terrible Warriors. You can be a named NPC in our games. You can have postcards mailed to you from our campaigns. You can get access to our exclusive debrief episodes that we release at the conclusion of every campaign. And until we meet again in the City of Calypso, today's Terrible Warriors and your investigators were Shane Baelish, Bree Poisonne, Shane Fitzgerald, and Justin Ecock. Thank you for liking, for reviewing, for supporting, for playing. Thank you for telling stories. And in doing so, thank you for becoming a Terrible Warrior.